So I'm joined by Liquorice CEO Miles Murphy, whose company has made it as a finalist for several entries in the Loeries digital and interactive category. The Loeries Creative Week is taking place in Cape Town this week, and it's an event that advertising agencies and marketers really do focus on. About 4,000 to 5,000 delegates come to it per year. Welcome, Miles.
Morning, Matthew. How are you doing?
Very good. I think we're both enjoying the Cape Town Creative Week. It's something that you'd probably look forward to on an annual basis.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Matthew. I'm in the
Liquorice CEO, whose company has made it as a finalist for.
Sorry, Matthew.
You're saying?
Sorry, there's a bit of feedback there. So the Loeries Week really is one of the kind of key milestones in the calendar for the advertising and marketing industry. And I think what's interesting about it for us, we're a pure digital and social media agency, I mean, unlike a lot of our competitors who are
Cape Town
agencies. What's interesting is over the years, the Loeries has kind of really started to embrace, interactive and digital technology, and the kind of list of categories that are awarded in that area has really grown, and the agencies that are competing in that area has really grown, and I think that shows the dynamicism of the South African marketing industry, really.
So, what were the main? You seem to have got a big focus on the digital and marketing side. Is that a huge focus at Liquorice?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we exclusively focus on digital marketing. Our feeling, and we've been going for about nine years, and really have kind of ridden the crest of the growth in digital marketing in the South African industry, and I think my point of view is that digital marketing is such a specialism and requires real expertise that we focus purely in that, and most of our clients want that expertise. They find that agencies that kind of try and do a little bit of everything don't give them that expertise that they need. So that's really our focus, purely. We don't do any kind of above-the-line advertising, more traditional TV, radio, print type work.
And is this week very much a week of networking for you? Do you spend a lot of time touching base, learning what other people are doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the main focus of the week is really just kind of celebrate creativity and celebrate excellence and craft in the industry. And I think it's important to really remember that, because it's that there's some people in this industry that have really put blood, sweat, and tears into great work. And it's an important time to celebrate that, and that's its primary focus. As a kind of secondary focus, it's a great opportunity because there's the best and brightest of the industries in the industry, and the movers and shakers in the industry are here in Cape Town at one time. And so you're right, it is a great time to network. Maybe interestingly, one of our biggest clients is Unilever, and they're helping sponsor the Loeries. This is their second year doing that. And they've got quite an exciting brunch on Saturday morning for key delegates. And last year was really riveting, and I know this year is going to be good as well. So there's other talks and stuff that happen throughout the week that are about kind of knowledge sharing and so kind of also celebrating excellence in the industry.
Can you talk a little bit about just the website scene in South Africa at the moment? How do you find it you do a lot of marketing and you focus on websites. Where do you think we are compared to a global perspective?
Well, I mean, digital marketing is more than just building websites. So I mean, it does involve that, but I mean, mobile is one of the biggest focuses of the industry. It's where the bulk of most consumers in both South Africa and Africa access the web via their handsets rather than a traditional desktop. So there's all sorts of interesting work going on in terms of mobile web, using mobile USSD technology, SMS technology, that sort of thing. The other area that's a real focus is social media. and that's been a huge growth in that area in the last few years. And some of the more creative award entries I've seen this year for the Loeries are in the social media space. We've got 3 up in that category at the year as finalists.
The competition that in the digital and interactive field, is it getting quite strong with the other advertising agencies, brand agencies, who are maybe more traditionally into print or television?
Yeah, so I mean, historically, the kind of digital and marketing space and the traditional marketing space were fairly separate, and there were different players in both. And if you look at the kind of the big digital players, most of them have historically come from a kind of digital background. What's interesting is to see that a lot of the kind of lead bigger digital agencies, of like our size, we're about 120 staff, and that's kind of about there are a couple of other players that are a little bit bigger than us, but that's about the kind of the top level in terms of scale. And a number of them in the last year or so have been acquired by traditional advertising networks who wanted to be able to have that capability to do digital as well. I mean, we actually just recently got acquired by Digitas LBI, which is the world's largest pure digital agency network. And the reason for that was as I was describing earlier, is because of my point of view that our clients really want that digital specialism, and they don't want generalists. So there's a big debate going on in the industry as to what kind of generalists versus specialists, and we've really kind of pinned our colours to the mast in terms of clients wanting that specialism.
Are those the kind of debates that will be taking place this week during the Creative Week?
No doubt, that debate goes on, and I'm sure there'll be lots of heated conversations around it, particularly because there's been so much acquisition activity by international advertising networks in the digital space, and different players are kind of staking out their directions that they're going. So there's quite a sort of clear choice the clients have now.
So what campaigns that you weren't part of, that you've seen coming through, like really excite you? Some examples that some of your competitors have done.
Sure. Now you put me on the spot. Put me on the spot here. I need to go back through. I'm kind of this week. I'm really kind of focusing on what we're doing. So I'm happy to kind of talk about that, if that's okay.
That is okay. I'm going to screen share now and take us to your first project that you did. Let's see if it works. No, that's not the right one. Stop. I just need to find the correct. I think it's this one here. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's have a look at your first project that you worked on. Do you want to just introduce this one first before we play it?
So this is some work for Magnum Ice Cream, owned by Unilever, as I said, one of our biggest clients. And really the brief here was to how do we help them launch a kind of new range of ice creams, but get consumers, and particularly kind of a young female, kind of fairly quite socially active consumers, to really engage with the brand, and then amplify that out to quite a wide reach of audience, and get consumers talking, and then ultimately drive sales for the brand. So it was a really pure digitally driven campaign, this one.
Okay, so let me just play this first for us.
Magnum is all about indulgence. And what better way to indulge than to combine the ultimate pleasure with two of our consumers' favorite things, shopping and tweeting. So we launched Magnum's new decadent pink and black ice creams by creating a lavish combination based on this insight. Introducing the Magnum Twitter auction, This extravagant experience turned tweets into currency, giving luxury to those who out-tweeted their fellow bidders. Up for grabs were lots of coveted luxuries, including a pink Italian scooter, 60-inch widescreen TV, and lots of Apple products. To bid, all you had to do was hashtag the pink or black luxury you wanted to take home. Each piece tempted bidders for just 15 minutes before they were taken offline, and whoever tweeted the hashtag the most in those 15 minutes walked away with the prized possession.
Using tweets as currency, I think it's absolutely genius.
The shoe voucher is amazing.
In addition to a press launch in Cape Town and an event on the day of the auction at Johannesburg's shopping mecca, Sandton City, fans from all over the country were able to bid no matter where they were, in bed, at the hair salon, coffee with the girls.
I think the campaign is fantastic. It's something very unique, but also it's fun.
And the results blew us away. In just a few hours, we raked up 3 million impressions, 8 million rand in free PR, press and TV exposure, and the campaign catapulted Magnum to become the biggest FMCG brand on Twitter in the country. And to top it all off, we hit the trending spot on the global Twitter rankings. And sales, we hear you out? Magnum sales jumped by an astounding 28%, blowing away the brand's targets for the year. And all this meant that millions of people were introduced to a new, undeniably delicious indulgence, Magnum Pink and Black.
Great. Would you like to talk about a little bit about that, Ron?
Sure, Matthew. I mean, I think a couple of things that really excite me about this campaign was first of all that the client, it was a real innovation in terms of taking the brand into the Twitter space. There's historically been a good bit of resistance in the South African market about the use of Twitter and whether help drive brands and the reach available on Twitter. And I think because we did something really innovative, which was creating ever Twitter auction where you could use tweets to basically bid for an item. It really created quite a stir. And as the video said, there's no other activity happening over the period of this campaign, and sales just went through the roof. We trended globally, which never happens to a brand on their own. This launched the brand way ahead in the rankings for brands. So just an amazing success, and then off the back of it, that's given the client confidence to be able to help to allow us Twitter as quite a key platform for engaging with consumers. So we're now taking the brand in an even space, or they're small. When you're home and you're on the couch, and we use Twitter to engage and the TV stations the programming at the same time and at the same time. So it's really kind of drive a kind of channel innovation.
Great. Let's move on to the next one that you've done well for this. Do you want to talk about this one for Sanlam?
Yeah. So this was for Sanlam to help them with their graduate recruitment, and we also came up with kind of an innovative idea of how to use Twitter to help them engage with graduates.
Change that perception and find the best possible candidates. Introducing the world's shortest CV. Every year, Sanlam travels from campus to campus attending university career fairs. This year, when prospective employees made their way past the Sanlam stand, they were introduced to a fresh, interactive activation that gave them a chance to brag not just to us, but to the whole world of potential employers. Users simply had to cram their skills, qualifications, best qualities, and the hashtag #SanlamUp into 140 characters to create the world's shortest CV. In return, the applicant received an automatic response thanking them for their submission and directing them to the Sanlam graduate recruitment website where they could have a look at the positions on offer. The most impressive CV of each day got its sender a guaranteed interview right there and then at the Sunlum stand, as well as a 2,000 Rand shopping voucher. Now that's one way of becoming the most sought-after employer on the career fair block.
So really, the shortest one of all time.
Yeah. So I mean, what we did here was really, and it was a tiny budget on this one, and what we did was take something that's a constraint in a tweet, which you can only use characters, and putting that into a kind of challenge and an asset for the brand. And use it to kind of almost get candidates to think quite creatively about how they pitch themselves. And so it actually became quite a really useful initial set of data for Sunlum to be able to start sifting out people who were innovative and could kind of really project themselves in quite an interesting way. And so they got. And what it also did was allow them to kind of really amplify these activations that they're running and get the students on campus just talking about it, retweeting, and really getting some free coverage on the day to a wider range of students. So I think I think the last thing that's really exciting is it was a first ever for the world to do the shortest CV, and we love doing great work that helps our clients achieve their business results, but also do it in a really interesting, innovative way that's never been done before. That really creates an engagement for the consumer.
All right, should we let's move on to the third one that you're a finalist for, which is to do with Kulula. Do you want to speak a bit about that before I press play, or let me press play first?
So this was a partnership with Kulula and the main client was really Robertson Spice. And the challenge here was we wanted to demonstrate to the consumer that even the most challenging meal situation, like a flight, low-cost airline flight, Robertson can that food and make an amazing experience. So that's the kind of background.
Some Spice people know a thing or two about traveling. Since 1924, they've ventured far and wide in search of the best herbs and spices. And we all know that when in transit, the food on offer is less than fantastic. Robertson's decided to change all that, showing 4 Kulula flights that they can add a twist to any meal, even if it's 35,000 feet up in the air. Media and influencers received a mysterious box as an invite to the first flight. To unlock the box, they had to tweet and in return received a unique code. This invite mechanic got the who's who of Twitter speculating. Once the curious VIP guests and unsuspecting passengers were en route from Jozi to Cape Town, the surprise unfolded. Ruben Riffle was on board with a 3-course gourmet meal flavored with Robertsons for all the passengers. Our social team on ground and on board worked as one, using an impeccable content plan. After touchdown, the passengers were invited to tweet about their in-flight experience using the campaign hashtag Skydine, and the public could join in for a chance to win one of 8 return flights, getting the hashtag to trend nationally twice. 1 week after the launch, to coincide with the next surprise flight, we released an online video sharing the Skydine experience. To date, the video has over 258,000 views, of which 25% are organic. And influential tweets, blog posts, and TV coverage have equated in more than 2 million rands worth of PR. The Robertson Twitter followers grew by more than 4,000 over the campaign period, while our Facebook fans skyrocketed by 14,000. The Skydine campaign has taken the brand to new heights.
Geez, I remember when that one came out. It was quite a fun. I wish I was on that flight actually.
Well, that's what's great. One of what's great about this is the idea is really to create quite an engaging kind of physical experience on the flight, but then use social media and video content to basically amplify it out to a wider community and get them to kind of almost experience it digitally themselves. And that's what I think is a really interesting trend that's beginning to happen in the kind of activation in digital and social kind of really work well together. And we call it the concept of one-to-one to many. So you have a one-to-one, brand as a one-to-one engagement experience with a handful of consumers, and then the many is where we amplify it out and create a kind of an excitement amongst the broader digital community. They can almost feel like they're on the flight with those one-to-one consumers.
Great. Listen, I know that you have to probably be somewhere quite soon. How much time do we have left with you?
No, we can probably do the last one. That's great.
Okay, well, we're onto a bit of beer now. So Castle Lights. Let's have a look at the video, and then we can talk about it.
Just when we thought cats were the pinnacle of online entertainment, twerking hit the scene. So, when Castle Light, one of SA's most innovative brands, asked us to build a beer dispensing vending machine, we decided that this craze had to be the currency. Yes, that's right, partygoers need to turn up the heat by shaking what their mums gave them to unlock extra cold refreshment. To play, the user simply has to strap on a bespoke belt containing a remote accelerometer. This basic yet brilliant piece of tech synced up with the vending machine tracking the movements of the player's hips. The vending machine wasn't your standard snack machine. The built-in touchscreen allowed users to interact with a custom-designed user interface. It was also home to our virtual twerking tutor who encouraged users to keep moving with her own set of power moves. This world first made its way around the country over summer on board X-Cole GP, Castle Light's pimped-out 2-ton truck. The vending machine was the life of the party everywhere it went. With 11 activations down, more than 30,000 people have been exposed to Castle Light's latest innovation. News of the twerk-activated vending machine crossed over from real world to online, being featured on Car Magazine's blog and prestigious industry sites, including Between 10 and 5 and Branded Africa. Loyal fans were impressed too, with our bootylicious beer dispenser becoming the talk of Twitter. On brand, on trend, and in rhythm. Castle Light gave its fans extraordinary enjoyment once again.
Castle Light's quite a different one, really, because it really is trying to create a lifestyle out there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they've got Castle Light's got a real key objective around innovation, both kind of within their intrinsic sort of beer itself, the way they communicate. And it's great when you're working with clients like that who really want to push the innovation below. It's sort of their brand kind of matches up with what we're about. We're effectively innovating. We're always what's next, and this is the next cool thing to do. And I just love this idea that we came up with about creating first vending machine. It links into something fun and active and amusing, but it also gives the consumer a kind of a very literal experience around getting hot, getting thirsty, and then getting rewarded with life for their engagement. And I think that's when this kind of work really works well, is when the activation, the digital activation, really links well with the intrinsics of the brand.
Great. Well, I think we should probably wrap up then. It seems like you've got a lot of exciting projects on the go, and it seems like the brands in South Africa themselves are really trying to find different ways of communicating to their client base.
Yeah, I think there's a really good kind of space happening in the moment in South Africa about brands and agencies really putting in that helps the consumers, but also helps the brands grow.
Great. Well, Miles, thanks very much for your time, and all the best with the Loeries the actual awards this Saturday and Sunday.
Great. Thanks a lot, Matthew.
Cheers. Then.
Bye.
Bye.